This is one of those stream of conscience videos where I just talk and I don't really have a particular message in mind at the start. I feel inclined to mull things over and think about things. Somebody wrote me the other day and asked me why I wear a hat in my videos. Why do I wear a shirt? Why do I wear a shirt in my videos? Why do I wear glasses? Or for that matter, what made me decide this morning to wear this instead of a hat? What does motivate me to do certain things, like drink from this mug this morning instead of some other mug that I could have used or chosen? Why do I do what I do? Why does somebody waste their time thinking about stuff like this? Does it really matter why I wear a hat in my videos? Or why I choose to wear that particular hat in my videos as opposed to this one, which I really love, but it's really in sad shape because my cat decided one day it was a bed. So now I either have to get it, whatever, you know, they put starch on them and they basically remake them firm. I don't know, there's a word for it. Or I could just buy another one because it's probably less expensive to just replace the hat than to have it fixed. But I could have chosen to wear that misshapen little hat, which used to be my favorite hat, by the way. Instead, I wear the black one because it's in better shape. Maybe that's why I decided to wear it. But why does somebody care? And then I had somebody else write me, and rather than comment on anything I had to say in my video, she called me a old fat bitch. Very, very significant, insightful bit of contribution to the conversation there. Old fat bitch. Okay, well, one, I am a bitch, and I'm proud of it. I am no longer afraid to say what I think about things. I no longer give a rat's ass what people think of me. I think that's one of the beauties, or one of the good things, and beauties isn't the right word, one of the benefits of getting older. You stop giving a fuck. You get off the merry-go-round of giving a fuck what people think and living for other people. I gotta look so perfect because I want to, what? You want to what? Be fake? Be something you're not? You want to waste your whole life away pretending that you're something you're not? Makeup is beautiful. I mean, you can take somebody who is beautiful and enhance her or him with makeup. I have nothing against makeup. I went a very long time wearing makeup every single day. And for a huge chunk of my life, I refused to not wear makeup. Even when we went camping, we were out there, primitive camping with just me and my husband, I would go in the front seat of the truck and put my makeup on before I would make breakfast, because heaven forbid the squirrels should see me without makeup on. I was a slave to the whole idea that I needed to be beautiful, or at least make the best attempt I could to. What's up with this worship of physical beauty? Why is physical beauty emphasized and valued more than the beauty of the heart? And I mean the person, obviously not the organ, but the person, the beauty of the person, the beauty of... There's just so much more to a person than what they look like. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize for being old. It's what happens to every person. Newsflash, it's what happens to everything. Flowers in the fields, squirrels, I said them already, but I thought I'd mention them again. Squirrels get old. The day itself gets old. It is born, it rises, it diminishes, it ends. The day has a lifespan. Everything we see has a lifespan. The rise and fall of cities, you know, everything you can name has a beginning, a middle, and an end, including people. Why is age a bad thing? Why do people lump age with other things that they think of as bad, like, ooh, you're ugly, you're fat, you're old? Well, okay, I'm old, and I'm not apologizing for it, because guess what? So will you be old in just a blink. This person who wrote me, good luck when you're old. Good luck, because you will be old, and it will happen in a blink. People don't get that. Young people, I remember myself not getting it, thinking that I was just going to be young forever. Well, guess what? It happens in a blink. Every single year goes faster than the year before. Until one day, you're no longer wondering what happened to last year. You're wondering what happened to 5 years ago. You're still thinking 5 years ago shouldn't be over yet. And we're already 5 years ahead of ourselves. It goes faster and faster. The decades just go faster and faster. Pretty quick, a decade starts to feel like a year. You know, the whole going up the hill, and then you go down, zoom. That is actually true. That's how life works. And you literally plunge toward old age at a breakneck speed, and you have no way to stop it. You can do whatever you want. You could get a, if you're rich, you can get yourself a personal trainer. You can get the fanciest stuff to put on your face. You can get surgery and possibly destroy your looks completely, make yourself look like something that isn't even human. Put on all the makeup you want to. Actually, I think more makeup when you're older makes you look older still. It's just age. It's just part of the adventure. And why do we fear it? Why do we hate it? Why do we despise it when we see it on others' faces and bodies? Like, oh my gosh, it's a reminder of what is to come for us. How dare they remind us that we're mortal? How dare they walk around like they still have a right to live and have dreams? I'll never forget the Susan Boyle episode where she walks on stage and she mentions her age and the look on Simon's face. He rolls his eyes. Like somebody who's 40 doesn't have a right to realize her dreams anymore. If you're over 40, you're just not worthy anymore of becoming a star. You have nothing to offer the world anymore. If you're over 40, get the fuck off the stage. You're old. Go sit in a rocking chair and stop living and stop dreaming and stop hoping. Stop aspiring to be something that you're not yet, but you feel in your heart of hearts that you have the potential to be, stop all that. Just stop living. Go sit in the corner and we don't want to see you. We don't want the reminder that we're all destined to be old too. No, I'm not going to apologize for being older. I almost died when I was 4. Almost died. I had kidney failure. I was so far gone that the doctors were letting me eat whatever I wanted to because it was like, well, not going to hurt anything. I almost died when I was 4. I am grateful for every single year. This year, I will be turning 54. 54 years old. That's 50 more years that I almost didn't get to have. Yeah, I'm kind of glad for every year. I'm kind of glad that I'm still here, experiencing life, learning and growing, hopefully gaining some wisdom along the way. I'm not apologizing for being old, and I'm really sorry that you find it so offensive that I exist and that I dare to say what I think about things now that I'm older. Silly me for thinking that I actually still have something of value to contribute to this world. Silly me to think that because, oh gosh, I am not gorgeous, I should hide my head under a rock in shame. Oh my goodness, I'm overweight. Newsflash, so is most of America. And as you get over the age, I think it's over the age of 20-something, which is really a long time ago for me, every year after a certain age, and again, I think it's 20-something, you lose so much muscle mass every year. Basically, after you hit your prime, after that point in your life, every year you lose a rather significant percent of muscle mass in your body. This is not something you can control. You can fight it by exercising. That's one way to fight it. Exercise to build muscle. It's a good way to try to keep yourself, thin, because muscle burns fat. But naturally, women have more fat anyway and less muscle. So if you're losing muscle every year, the battle to stay thin is harder every year, right? Yes. Now look up the diagnosis, exercise-induced urticaria. Look it up. Or exercise-induced anaphylaxis. Look it up. It's a real allergy. It's a physical allergy like asthma. And it's not a good thing. Some athletes have it. It's really hard to still be an athlete if you have it. I used to exercise 7 days a week. And I loved how I felt when I did. I loved how I felt. My body processed food so much more efficiently. I wasn't hungry as much. The machine that was my body was running very well. It was a good thing. Exercise is the only way to stay thin and fit. People go on these stupid diets. They're pointless. The only way to not be fat is to exercise. Exercise-induced urticaria. Exercise-induced anaphylaxis. I ignored the symptoms for a long time. I continued to exercise. I would have, in the middle of working out, I would suddenly be running to the bathroom to throw up. My hands and feet would become flaming hot. I would start getting just beyond nauseated, sick to my stomach. And then I would start to itch, and I would have hives break out over my entire body. And I continued to ignore it. I would do things like soak in a cold bathtub with baking soda. I continued to ignore it. I continued to exercise religiously 7 days a week. Sometimes I would take a day off because according to the firm workout videos, you're supposed to rest your muscles. Oh, and I had different videos that I would do to shake things up because you don't want to target one particular muscle area twice in a row. I mean, you kind of want to do different things every day. I did all that. I continued to work out. And then one day, I found myself lying on the floor having difficulty breathing because the hives not just appear all over your body, but they get in your throat. They get in your ears, they plug up your ears, you cannot hear. They get in your tongue swells up. They get in your throat swells up. And it can actually restrict your ability to breathe. And I came close to passing out because of this. That's when I went to see the doctor. That's when they did the allergy testing on me. And that's when they figured out I have a physical allergy. I am actually allergic to the chemical changes that happen in your body when your core temperature warms up. You know, when you get that warm up feeling when you exercise, you start to feel warm. That's actually a chemical thing in your body. I'm allergic to it. So I tried to keep exercising after that. But then I read about the disease or illness, whatever they call it. I guess it's a condition. It's really not a disease or an illness. It's a condition. It's a physical condition. I looked it up and I read, well, you know, you can still exercise, but it would be a good idea to have somebody around who knows CPR. I read that and I'm like, oh, that makes me feel real safe. I'm on medication for the rest of my life. I love to dance. When I go dancing, I can still dance, but I get, you know, even with the medication, I still get nauseated in my stomach. If I still have the allergy, I still have the attacks. I still have them. The symptoms are just greatly diminished. Now when I have an attack, I get sick to my stomach. I get the hot hands and feet. I get itchy. I don't get the hives. That's basically all the medication does for me. I don't get the hives. I still get the unpleasant symptoms, however. And so when I go dancing, I used to dance all night. I love to dance. I go out and I dance one song, and then I have to go sit down. Even if the next song is one that I really love, I have to go sit down. Get my heart rate down, have a glass of cool water, and then wait a little while, and then I can go dance again. If I make the mistake, if I get caught up in the moment and dance a couple songs in a row, I might be in the bathroom vomiting and feeling horrible, and then I have to go home. So people who get on my case about being fat, oh, and I did just go through a major depression and taking medication for it, which made my face bloat up pretty good, and I don't care. You know what? I have learned between becoming an atheist and dumping all the guilt that religion puts on you that you're just born broken and you need this particular crutch to be a whole person of value. Between giving that up and letting go of the feeling that I have to have people like me in order to have value, I have finally figured out who I am. I have finally become comfortable in my own skin. It's taken me half a lifetime to get to this point where I am happy with myself and I can look in the mirror and see all the faults, the mole, you know, and even stand what I look like without makeup or with a funny stupid hat on my head and still love myself and still feel good about who I am and still feel like I have something to offer the world. It took me half a lifetime to get here. So yeah, I am not, it doesn't bother me. Yes, I would like to lose about 30 or 40 pounds. Very much would like to be back wearing the sizes that I was wearing before. I don't think I ever will. It's pretty hard to lose weight if you can't exercise. I can take my dog for a walk, but if I walk too fast for too long, guess what happens? If my heart rate gets up and I start to warm up, and when you start to warm up, that's when you're burning the calories. That's when you're actually doing some good for yourself. And guess what? I can't do that. So my only recourse to losing weight is to eat right, which makes a lot of sense. But when you're going through depression, you're not really caring about stuff like that either. So anyway, I'm not apologizing. I'm not apologizing that I'm old. I'm actually very grateful that I got to be the age that I am. I'm not apologizing that I'm overweight. I went through the whole gambit of trying very hard to look the way society thinks that I should look. Not doing it anymore because I don't like the ER very much. And as far as my physical appearance, I was never born beautiful. I was not. I was born average. All my life I have tried to overcome the fact that I was born average and not being happy with what I saw in the mirror. I'm over that. I'm over that. You don't like the fact that I'm not beautiful? Then go watch somebody else on the internet. If somebody's appearance, if the superficial shit is all that you find of value in this world, I don't fucking want you on my channel. I think people like you are a waste of time and space on this earth. And you do a lot of harm. You cause a lot of young, insecure people to feel like shit. Because all you value are the things that mean nothing. The superficial bullshit. And I don't want you on my channel. Go someplace else. Go look at a few pictures of some hotties. Go support Donald Trump and his opinion that the only women of value have to be hotties. Pieces of ass. That's what women are to Trump. Go support him. Go be one of him. Be like him. Emulate him. I don't want you on my channel. So that's all. I guess that's what the video became. It became about what people have said to me the last couple days. I like to wear hats. I like to be silly. If you look way far back into my videos, you're going to see some really silly, bizarre, stupid shit. Because that was me trying to figure myself out. What's the word? Manic? Sometimes crying, and sometimes making the weirdest shit and putting it on YouTube. That was me trying to figure myself out. Probably still will put some weird shit up because I have always been weird. And I hope I never stop being weird. And that's just me. And if you don't like it, you don't have to be on my channel. I don't particularly care anymore. Because I am free of all the shit that used to keep me in chains. I'm free. I don't care. You can think I'm ugly. You can think I'm fat. You can say, oh, you're old. Like, that's a bad thing. And I don't care anymore. And my one wish for people who might be watching this video is that they either have already gotten to that point themselves where they don't care anymore and they're not on the stupid merry-go-round anymore, or that they will one day get to the point where they are free too. Because it's awesome. I feel badly for people who live their whole lives thinking that the superficial is all that matters. Anyway, if you've been watching, thanks. Bye.
I am absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion. And I think it should be religion treated with ridicule and hatred and contempt.